Hello, and welcome back. I'm Lemon, and I'm making Patch Quest, a roguelike / Metroidvania game where you explore an abandoned tropical island. You can also mount and ride every monster in the game, and this gives you access to 3 of that monster's animal-inspired skills. So this January, I've been working on a highly requested feature, Pet Monsters. And yes, you can pet every monster in the game. Here's a quick rundown of how it all works. So using your lasso, you can latch on to any monster that you like the look of. I'm gonna choose this shrub hog. Now, if I can travel in a circle around the monster without getting hit, I'll tame it and mount it. So far, this is all typical stuff. But now, if we go to the pause menu, there's a new option. This return to camp button now says return with pet. And if we click it, we'll take our shrub hog back to base camp. Once we give him a name, he will officially become a pet. At this point, your trusty Robo backpack will give you the brainwave reader. This allows you to communicate with your pets directly and understand their needs. We can see here that this shrub hog likes bushes, and it likes thorny things as well. So if we can find some thorny bushes, and we can bring them back to the base camp, then our pet will become stronger and happier. Capturing the wildlife is another mechanic that has changed this month, so let's cover it quickly. Every time that you complete a battle room, your pin press will charge up. This is a gadget that lets you take plants and minerals and then compress them to make pocket-sized pins. These pins are categorized, shown here, and they also belong to a habitat, shown here. Let's capture a few more. Now this pin is particularly interesting because we can see that it's marked as thorny, which matches the needs of our shrub hog pet. So let's bring it home. If we check out our pet again, we can see that his bond has increased to half of a heart, because there's 1 thorny pin in our base. But half of 1 heart still isn't great, so let's try to increase it a little more. First, we need a lot more pins.
Come back when you're a little, richer.
Now, if we organize these pins based on their habitats, we can upgrade our patches. So this patch is now a jungle patch, and if we look at our shrub hog's needs, we can see that they like jungle patches as well. So their bond has increased by quite a bit. And there's also one more way to increase your bond. You can pet the monster. This gives you an extra heart for a while, but it doesn't stack with multiple pettings. So if you want to get your bond really high, you do have to find the right pins. So what does this bond actually do? When you're out exploring on a quest, you can now bring up this radial menu. There's 5 slots, since you can have up to 5 pets, and you can select one to summon it. So this pet will now follow you, and it'll help you fight hostile monsters as you explore. And the bond level that we spent so much time improving has given this pet a lot of extra HP, so he can stick around for much longer. You can also mount your pet, so if you have a favourite mount, then keeping it as a pet is a strong tactic, because then you can bring that monster to any habitat, including ones where it doesn't usually spawn. Eventually, your pet will get defeated. What you say? But don't worry, he's just gone back to base camp for a little nap. You'll be able to summon him again on your next quest. And so that's pretty much how the system works from start to finish. Collecting pins has always been a major part of Patch Quest, but for the longest time I had no idea what to do with them. There's over 100 different types, and I'm regularly adding more, so coming up with useful effects for all of them was very hard. Over the years I've brainstormed a bunch of systems, like maybe adding Civ-style adjacency bonuses, or maybe a Monster Hunter-style item crafting system. But none of these ideas ever stuck, because in the end they just kicked the can down the road. How are those adjacency bonuses actually going to help you? How are those crafted items going to help you? These kinds of systems were actually just adding more loose ends to the pile. So for a long time, there's been this hole in the game's design. Fortunately, this new pet system is the perfect solution. There's a lot of different monsters in the game, and they're all pretty varied. So by letting the player choose 5 of them, they're very likely to end up with a unique, personalised team. And by linking each monster to a handful of different pins, the player is very likely to end up with a unique looking camp as they try to level all of their pets up. So it's a fusion between the creativity of choosing your favourite pets and the strategy of building them a good home. And it should mean that your base camp ends up looking pretty different to other players. So with this system in place, the overall design of Patch Quest is pretty much complete. The monsters, the mounts, and the skills and the perks, the pin collecting, the base camp, the dungeons and the overworld, they're all in a good place now, and I think they're all synergizing with each other pretty well. So what's left to do? Last month I scrapped the entire overworld and replaced it with a new map that was a lot more maze-like and more directly inspired by Metroidvania games. For more info you can check out last month's Devlog episode, number 19. The new overworld is a lot more fun to explore, but it's also taking a lot more time to design. And so currently only 4 out of the 12 zones have been re-implemented. And so that's the biggest remaining task, finishing these last 8 habitats. I really want to make sure that each habitat feels unique, with its own dungeon and monsters, and also feels like it's just worth exploring. And so it's therefore going to take a while to finalize all of them. So taking that into account, here's my new 2021 plan. First, I'm going to add the northwest corner, starting next week. This corner has the Hive Zone and the Zen Zone, and it has one of the 4 key bosses as well. And once that corner is done, I'm going to launch Patch Quest as an early access game on Steam. I'm hoping to launch it before the end of spring, so maybe 3 months from now. And once it's been launched, I'm then going to add the other 3 corners of the map over the span of 3 early access updates, to make sure that there's enough time to really properly finish all of them. With the launch coming up so soon, I've been finding it hard to make time for YouTube videos, but I do have videos in the works, so be sure to sub and offer your soul to the Bell Demon if you want to be notified. You can also wishlist Patch Quest on Steam to make sure that you hear about the launch, and it also helps boost Patch Quest up the Steam leaderboards, so it's a great way to support this channel. And as always, the best way to keep up with development is to join the Discord server, where I live blog all of the development progress every day. This server also lets you download the Patch Quest public beta. However, this beta is a few months out of date now, and it's also going to be taken down at the end of February. So this is your last chance to try it.
One more thing!
I've now been making this devlog series for 2 full years. It's pretty crazy looking back at how far Patch Quest has come in this time, and really it's thanks to all of you that I've had the motivation to continue with this project. You're the best. Anyway, that's all for now, and as always, thanks for watching.